Hello, welcome to KAJOS Consultants, and my name is Joshua. And today we are going to look at how are some of the assumptions that are needed for the logistics regression. So logistics regression, to need to know first is you must have the two variables, that is the dependent variable and the independent variable. So for this particular analysis, it normally predicts the probability that an observation can fall into two categories of the dependent variable. This dependent variable has to be dichotomous. So dichotomous simply means the variable must have two categories. For example, gender, where we have male and female, or maybe in the event you are trying to assess whether someone uses drugs or not, so it can be yes or no. So that is still dichotomous. It is a variable with the two groups. So this dependent variable and is normally based on one or more independent variable that can be either continuous or categorical. So continuous variables, these are can be interval or ratios. For example, we have time either in hours, weight in kilograms, or even some of the values that can be measured for that particular type of variable. Then you have categorical variable. These are normally ordinal or nominal. Can be, for example, the equation that are Likhated, where we have the strongly agree, strongly disagree, agree, neutral, and strongly disagree. That is a that is a variable, a categorical variable with 5 groups. Can also be nominal, where we have also gender, either male or female, and the rest. So some of the assumptions that this particular analysis or your data must meet for you to run this particular analysis. One is the dependent variable should be measured on dichotomous scale, as I elaborated earlier. So dependent variable has to have some of the two categories. So let me just demonstrate with this. Here we have the ever plot, where you can see we have either 0 values or 1. So either those who mark or responded for the no category, we give them a 0, and those who responded a yes, we give them 1. So at least for this particular case, we have two categories, and that is dichotomous. Then for continuous scale, carry out multiple regression. So that is, for example, if the dependent variable is on a continuous scale, for example, time, or even weight or height, then you can carry out a multiple regression. And for example, and for cases where we have the ordinal scale, then you can do an ordinal regression for that particular analysis. The second one assumption is one or more independent variables, which can be either continuous or categorical. So these, for example, the independent variables, they can either be continuous or categorical. So continuous, as said, there can be interval or ratio, for example, time, weight in kilograms, height, and even temperature. Yeah, and even the marks that students score in a given or in a particular test. So categorical can take gender, either male or female, profession, either for profession can be a doctor, nurse, dentist, those ones. Those are some of the categories we have. Then also the personality traits. The personality, we can have those who are introverts and those who are extroverts. Then the third assumption, you should have independence of observations. And for this case, the observations should not be dependent to each other as far as this analysis is concerned. Then the final assumption that your data must meet for you to run logistics regression, then there must be a linear relationship between any continuous independent variables and the logic transformation of the dependent variable. So these ones, so you could need to test by SPSS, and we'll soon look into that maybe in our next tutorial on the practical aspect of this analysis. So the first 3 observations or assumptions, this one can simply observe based on the type of data that you have. But for the fourth one, you need to run SPSS analysis for you to ascertain or determine that. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you find it very interesting, kindly hit on the subscription tab below to subscribe to this channel for more of these insightful updates.